I absolutely love the Sixers in Game 3 in Philly. I think my analysis on that game was some of my best work, but the Knicks smoked them. So where does that leave us heading into Game 4? We're going to talk about it in this video. We'll also talk about the Spurs at Minnesota, Game 4 in the late game Sunday. Let's start with the Knicks, though. They won Game 3 by a score of 108-94. The Knicks shot 50% from the field, 33% from beyond the arc. Jalen Brunson lit it up, 33 points on 11 of 22 shooting. Karl Anthony Towns again got himself in foul trouble, only played 26 minutes, only scored 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting. The Knicks are up 3-0 in the series, and OG Anunoby missed Game 3, probably won't be back for Game 4 either. I certainly wouldn't count on that. I said I bet on Philly in Game 3. Clients got Philly for the first quarter, and that was a winner. In the video I did on this channel, I gave out Philly for the first half. That was not a winner. They're not always winners, ladies and gentlemen, but I do believe that the analysis for that game was still some of my best work, even though it wasn't a winning pick. I encourage you to check it out. That's Friday's video. New York is 7-0 against the spread in their last 7 at Philadelphia. 12-6. The under is 12-6 in their last 18 overall. Philly shot 43% from the field, 28% from beyond the arc in Game 3. Poor three-point shooting has killed the Sixers in this series. There was some question if Embiid was going to play. He did play, but didn't play well. 18 points on 7 of 17 shooting. Paul George was even worse, 15 points on 6 of 18 shooting. And I talked a lot about the trend that goes back over 20 years now. Teams down 0-2, heading home for Game 3, covering the spread in the first half of that Game 3. And we've been riding that, and we'll continue to ride that for the next. It'll take 5 years before I change my mind on that trend. However, we got a new trend here because this is a different situation. This is teams down 3-0 in a series, Game 4 at home. What percentage of the time do those teams win Game 4 when they trail 3-0? Not very good, folks. The team up 3-0 wins Game 4 between 66 and 70% of the time. 159 times in the NBA playoffs, a team has been up 3-0, and those teams are those teams are 159-0 in the series. The under is 4-1 in Philly's last 5 home games. The under is 13-4 in Philly's last 17 games overall. I'm concerned about the health of Embiid. I'm concerned about Paul George, just overall, his age, I'm not a big fan of Paul George. And Maxey did not play well in Game 3. I think if you like Philly in this game, it's got to be first quarter, first half. But to get the Knicks at almost a pick 'em, Knicks -1, total 212.5. I think the play has got to be on the Knicks. We got to ride that trend. Almost 70% of the time, the team up 3-0 wins Game 4. The Knicks have been the better team, even without OG Anunoby. They proved to be the better team, and I don't see any reason to think that the Knicks won't sweep here. So the Knicks will be the play in the early game. Let's talk about some promotions before we get into the second game. Before we talk about the promotions, in every video, I end the video by saying, if you got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, hit me up in the comments. And, I expect people to say, oh, you suck, or you're ugly, or you're fat, or, which I think that's fun and funny, and I don't mind a little bit of banter. But for some reason, people seem to want to say I look like celebrities. I did not ask for this. Stallone's half-brother. I don't know if this is the same guy that said I looked like Mike Vrabel's brother. But anyways, somebody gets back to him. This man is far more intelligent than Stallone. Well, thank you, my man, for the vote of confidence. Anyways, let's tell you about some promotions we got available. This one is only available at Picks and Parlays. It will only be available for a few more days, and this is the best deal you will ever find on my picks, the cheapest possible price, less than $1 a pick, $999 for 365 days. And what can you expect for 365 days? Well, over the last 365 days, I'm hitting over 60% with Major League Baseball, up 60 units, rough, give or take a unit or two. Killing it in the NBA playoffs, a 5-0 run for clients with the last 5 client plays, 9-0 run with money line sides in the NBA for the entire year, 100% perfect in 2026 with money line sides in NBA. I dominated the college football playoffs, hitting 80%. I dominated the NFL playoffs, hitting 73%. Man, check out the Super Bowl videos. We just killed it in the Super Bowl. Soccer, even soccer, last World Cup, I hit 71% with all my plays. We do have another promotion at Picks and Parlays. You can get myself and Ben Burns every soccer play from today through the end of the World Cup for $299. Ben Burns has never lost a 5% play in the sport of soccer. And for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, at Jesse Schule, you should be following me. Check out the pinned tweet, an article detailing a long history of dominating in the NBA playoffs. Let's get back into the game. Let's talk about the Spurs. The Spurs won Game 3 by a score of 115-108. That game was tied at halftime. The Spurs were up 1 point at halftime, the Spurs were tied at halftime, and then the Spurs were up 1 halfway through the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it was a close game. Wemby scored 39 points, 13 of 18 shooting, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. The Spurs shot 46% from the field, 36% from beyond the arc. San Antonio now 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 at Minnesota, but they're 11-1 straight up in their last 12 road games. I will look at their first round series, though, in Game 4 at Portland. They won the game. The score at halftime, they trailed 55-41 in Game 4 at Portland. Minnesota shot 38% from the field. You got to expect them to have some positive regression in Game 4, 35% from beyond the arc. Anthony Edwards was questionable heading into the game, 41 points, 12 of 26 shooting, 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. And Ayu Dosunmu was also able to play, just 11 points on 4 of 12 shooting, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. Chris Finch, after the game, called out the officials. I've seen Chris Finch do this in the first round, and I remember distinctly he called out the officials about a disparity in the free throws in the game, just following the game, and I noticed the box score in the next game. It seemed like his comments were effective. He got what he wanted, and at the end of the day, I have to mention the coaching mismatch here. I think Chris Finch, with his playoff experience, a veteran head coach, and he's facing off against Mitch Johnson, who inherited the team from Greg Popovich. You have to give the advantage in coaching to the home team in this series, or in this game in particular. I kind of like Minnesota for the first half. Again, in this game, maybe the Spurs run away with it in the second half, but I think Minnesota can come out. I mean, like I said, the last game was close. I don't think there's that much separation between these two teams, and Minnesota's getting points. I'll take the points with the Timberwolves for the first half, and we'll just take the Knicks to complete the sweep. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you've got anything to say to me, even if it's about my appearance, hit me up in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.